right, welcome yogis. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day I find you, welcome. And thank you for joining me on your mat today. My name is Lori. If we haven't met before, I'm going to lead you through a hips and hamstrings practice today, starting off a little slower and then warming things up with movement towards the end. It would be helpful to have a few props for your practice. So a couple of blocks and a strap. But of course, if you don't have those items at home available to you, using a belt, maybe a couple of larger books would also be a great idea. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me on your mat. I hope you enjoy your practice. Namaste. All right, yogis, welcome back to your mat. Hopefully you have those items for your practice. We're going to come onto our backs to begin. So guide yourself down, have your 2 blocks or those 2 books and your belt available just off to the side of your mat. And we'll make our way all the way down towards the ground. Once you're there, just taking your feet to touch, allowing the hands to find your belly, draw your chin in towards your chest, and allow your eyes to soften and close. We'll just start to allow ourselves to find the rhythm of our breath. Trying to remove all of the physical effort at this point in time. Enjoying the simplicity of breathing and how the sensations move throughout your body. With your eyes closed, you're drawing your gaze towards third eye center. Drawing all your awareness to that space, can you start to create an intention for the time that you spend here on your mat today? Take one more really full deep breath, send it right down into the bowl of your pelvis. And a nice long open mouth sigh to let it all go. And take a few more breaths and then let the hands find the outside of the legs and let's move them back in through center. This time now take the feet out a little wider and just let the knees drop in towards one another. Pick up the back of the skull, draw your chin in towards your chest, and just allow your hands once again to rest onto your belly. Our pranayama of Ujjayi breath helps to create a foundation of presence on your mat. Really let your sacrum rest heavily into the ground and start to create that nice, subtle, audible connection with your exhales. Allow your tongue to rest against the top of your palate, gently, just behind the 2 front teeth. You have a slight tightening at the back of your throat, very similar to when we fog up a mirror perhaps in front of ourselves. Take just a few more breaths here. If that intention is there, repeat it again. If you haven't decided, perhaps now is a good time. And then just taking your knees so that they'll point back up towards the sky. Move your feet so that they are hip width distance apart. And then gently extend the legs forward in front of yourself. Find Shavasana for a few breaths. Let your arms extend away from yourself now. The palms facing open towards the sky. Your legs can widen and the toes just kind of lazily drop out to the sides. Pick up your upper back and just let it gently rest back down to the ground and draw your chin in towards your chest. Really notice the connection, the back of your body against the earth. Letting go of any worry or anxiety, feeling support from the ground beneath you. We'll take the legs so that they extend straight down your mat now. Your arms can stay extended out to your sides. Slowly start to slide your right heel in towards yourself, and then gently let the right knee open out to the side like a half butterfly. And then inhale, move your leg back towards the sky with the knee, and then exhale, extend your leg straight forward in front of yourself. Repeat that same thing 9 more times with your own breath. Inhale, knee to sky. Foot of the right side comes to the ground, the sole. Exhale, externally let the hip rotate to the right side, knee away from your center. And then inhale all the way back in through middle. Exhale, leg extends forward. I'll just let you breathe and move through this now. Last 2 times here. And once you're done, just allowing both limbs to extend away from you. Rest the back of your body heavily into your mat. Enjoy 3 or 4 really full breaths. Observe any subtle differences from the right to left side of your body, through your pelvis, through your legs. We'll come to the other side. So again, on your inhale, slowly drag your left heel in towards yourself. Exhale, allow your knee to revolve open. Move back through center with your inhale breath. And extend your leg long forward in front of you as you exhale. We'll do that 9 more times. Again, I'll just leave you in your own breath to enjoy. Maybe draw the chin a little forward towards your chest if you feel like you're tipping upwards towards the sky. You have about 4 more times here. Last 2 times. And just let your legs once more extend forward in front of yourself. Rest heavily into the ground. Maybe smile a little bit. You're practicing yoga. It's always a great feeling. Move your knees one at a time in towards your chest and give yourself a nice big squeeze, a nice big hug. And then let your head and shoulders rest again. Let's find the outside of our feet and come into a happy baby. So chin coming in towards yourself. You can just let the arms get really heavy now and weighted into gravity. And if you can play around with a little bit of movement, maybe right to left. Maybe you want to extend the legs one at a time. Ooh, my hamstrings are feeling a little bit stiff today, so this is going to be a really great release. I can already tell I'll feel a million times better. And just try to lengthen your tailbone forward a little bit. Keep your sacrum trying to weight it down towards the ground, and you'll just feel a little bit of a deeper stretch into your hips. We're going to slowly bring the feet back towards one another and then eventually invite them down towards the ground. Take your feet to be hip width distance now. Your arms can just be long alongside of your body. Chin coming in towards your chest. Set up for a bridge pose. Doesn't have to be too big right now. Just pushing yourself away from the ground. Evenly pushing pressure through the feet. Feeling your big toes rooting into your mat. Last couple breaths here. Nice and slowly, we'll guide ourselves all the way back down to our mat. You can grab that strap. I'm going to grab mine. And we can unravel it, so it might be a belt for you. That works too. And I'm also going to grab my block, and maybe I have a book. So I'm going to have my feet pushing into the ground. I'm going to lift my hips up away from my mat or wherever I'm laying. And then that block is going to come underneath me so that when I come to rest on the ground, I'm going to have my sacrum, that part of your back that you were trying to push down into the ground when you were in Happy Baby. Now it's just going to rest onto your block. So your hips can get really heavy here for a moment, and just let yourself release all the effort again. And if you're not enjoying the block, you can always do what we're going to move into here from the ground. So you could take it out from beneath you if it's not serving you. Just make sure you're paying attention to how things feel in your practice. Never really worrying about how something looks, because we're all different. The good thing is that you're in your house, so you're not going to be comparing yourself to others. I just want you to really get into your body right now. And into your breath. So from where we are, you can go ahead and find that strap that you have. And if you can move your right leg in a little closer to you, see if you can loop that strap right across the ball of your right foot. Should be closer towards your toes. And you're going to have your arms just kind of lengthening upwards towards your foot so that they're nice and long. And then you can let the weight of your arms get nice and heavy and allow gravity to do a lot of the work for you here so that you're not having to pull with your arms per se. Seeing if you can feel like your right heel could extend up a little bit more. You're going to open a little deeper into the back of your right leg, your hamstring. Chin just coming in towards your chest, keeping the back of your neck nice and long. And enjoying your breath and noticing how the hamstring's feeling. Is it really tight? You know, if it is, we might want to take a big bend into our knee if this is kind of feeling excessive, a little too much strain. But if you have a little more room, maybe you're trying to extend even more up through your right leg. If you're enjoying this, if this feels perfect, you want to stay as you are, you're just going to continue breathing here about 10 breaths. If you want to take a little more space into the top of your left hip, let's move that leg forward away from you so that your heel, left side, is really extending away from your body. The weight of the top of your hip, because you're kind of elevated, you feel a little bit more of a pull. And you're just going to let the body relax and release. Keep letting the arms get heavy. If you want to maybe loop the hands around your strap once. Try not to cut off your circulation though. And let's get back to that breath. You still have about 5 more here. On your next inhale breath, to transition, we're going to slowly move our left foot to the ground if the leg's extended in front of yourself. And then can you just bring it into the strap with your right leg for a moment? We'll release and bring our right foot to the ground, and let's also take a little break for a second with the hands perhaps. My hands are getting a little tired from holding the strap. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and find it once more. We're just allowing the arms to lengthen upwards and then get really heavy so that you feel them kind of drawing back towards the earth. And your left heel now really extending up towards the sky. So you can feel the stretch from the sits bones all the way up to your heel. All right, you can stay as you are, or if you want to explore, moving your right leg in front of yourself, getting nice and long through that side. Maybe taking the hands, looping them around the strap so you don't have to hold on so tightly. Let the weight of your right leg get heavy, extend it forward, and see if you can draw your left leg a little closer. Last couple of full breaths here. Now, if you have extended your right leg forward, let's slide that foot back onto the ground, and then we're going to slowly step our left foot out of our strap as well. You can just kind of place it off to the side. We'll come back to it in just a little bit. And let your legs, if it feels okay to do so, extend both now forward in front of yourself. And let the front of the body open just a little more. If this is at all creating discomfort in your low back, just bringing your feet back to the ground and removing your block or your book. Otherwise, just enjoying this nice stretch across the front body, front of the hips, and your belly. Nice and slow, move your feet one at a time back towards the ground. You can slowly push through the feet just enough to remove the block, should still be underneath of you. And then once we're there, we're just going to extend out back into Shavasana, where we were just a little while ago. Can you notice any shifts, any subtleties, changes to the back of the body? Remembering you're more than welcome to take more rest throughout practice whenever you need as we begin to move a little bit more. Let's slowly draw the feet back onto the ground and bring your knees in towards your belly. Give yourself lots of gratitude, lots of love as you hug and squeeze. take ourselves right arm reaching up above, roll over onto your side and just gently press up off of the ground from your fetal pose. I'm going to take my mic, pack it back in here, and I'm going to invite you to join me in a child's pose. So bringing your big toes to touch, allowing your knees to open a little bit wider, and letting your arms start to melt forward with the forehead finding the earth. Let your forehead rock a little bit right to left. Continue to really enjoy the sound of your breath. out away from you and bring your right arm straight above. And then let's make some circles. Forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go in the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Reach back with your right hand and see if you can catch your foot. So the strap that I mentioned. If you can't reach, you can always go ahead and grab it. I'm going to reach for 5 more full breaths. Easing point. Depending on how your neck is feeling, you can look up towards the sky. Try to find that neutral extension through the crown of your head. Take lots of more breaths. Nice, slow and gentle release. And exhale. Inhale, bring yourself up. Release, coming back into center. Move your right leg in underneath of you. Extend. Reach your arms up. Big breath. Lift your palms for a moment. Feel that energy. And then down, round. Reach the right arm up. Open to your right side. Moving hips forward. Exhale, tip to your right. Take your left leg up. Forward or down. 5 circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move in the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee and reach back on the outside of your foot. Again, use your strap if you need a little more room with your arms. Find your gazing point into your hand. About 5 breaths here. Nice and slow, releasing your foot. Reach it back to the sky and slowly bring it all the way back up. Your arms reaching up above. Exhale. Hands coming into heart. Left knee coming in underneath yourself. Sit down or to your heels for a moment. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of mobility work now. So we're going to take ourselves sideways on our mat. And take my legs wider than my hips. So thinking of like the width of a child's pose, probably if I was to bring my hands onto the front of my shins, I'm going to extend my spine nice and long. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can get an idea. So we don't want to be rounded. We want to have a really long and extended spine. And for grip under my feet, I'm going to turn back the other way so that I have that traction. And we're going to use hands a little bit the first couple of rounds, and then we're going to try to move with little assistance from our arms, our hands, okay? So I'm going to lift the chest, big inhale breath. As I exhale, you can just tip yourself over to the right. So both thighs are moving to the right side. I'm going to turn my entire chest to the right side, and then I'm going to slowly start to lower towards the ground and kind of draw my chest right over top of my right thigh. You can feel a nice opening into my right hip, outer right hip, taking a few breaths here. slowly inhale, bring yourself up. Come back to that really tall spine. Find the front of your shins, big inhale. And then exhale, let's revolve over our lats. Turn your chest entirely over the front of your left thigh, and then start to melt forward towards the ground. Again, about 4 or 5 breaths. And just noticing, do both sides feel equal? My left side's always a little bit tighter, more restriction from scar tissue and injuries. So just being aware of your body helps to keep you safe on your mat, but it's also just that awareness. It's keeping you present. You notice these little things that sometimes you might not observe when you're busy. And then let's slowly bring ourselves all the way back up. Again, find the front of your shins, extend the spine. Now let's try to move without our arms. So if I reach my arms up overhead, I'm gonna bring my arms up, exhale, cascade forward over my thigh. Inhale, bring myself back up. Move with your breath. Exhale, twist, release over your left side. And take a few times. Inhale, bring yourself up. Extend your spine. Exhale, rotate, twist. Move over the right side. Inhale, lift yourself up. Keep extending the spine. Exhale, release. We'll continue to add on. So I'm gonna bring myself up, inhale, okay? Might scooch back a little bit. I've started to transport myself forward towards you. Arms are gonna reach up. I'm gonna twist. Now I'm going to rotate. My left leg is gonna cross in front of my right leg. I'm gonna lean my weight forward, push all the way away from my mat, drive my right knee up high. And now can you come back? It's like a curtsy. You're gonna step your leg behind yourself. You're going to bring your leg forward, knees pointing back up to sky. Rotate to your left. Draw your right leg around yourself. Push all the way up to standing. High knee. Come back down. Okay, we're going to do this a few times. So it's not about looking perfect. You're just trying not to use your arms, be the biggest thing. I want you to try to use your core, strength of your legs, coordination and balance, all those fun things. Come back to center. Again, rotate, cross in front, push all the way up, drive up to a high knee, bring it back down, cross your leg in front. Are you having fun yet? One more time to each side. Up. Bring it back down, forward, twist, rotate, press all the way up, and we'll bring it all the way back down and into center. There we go. My shoulders are even feeling that a little bit from my workout today, I think. All right, cross your legs. Let's take a few seated cat-cows. Inhale. Up, exhale, roll back. All right, let's take ourselves back to tabletop pose. So no fancy way to get there, just however you want to arrive. And those blocks, they might become useful for you. So I'm going to say have them more towards the middle of your mat, just because depending on which end we're towards, I want you to always have them available. So we're going to arrive in tabletop, but now prepare to come to downward dog. So tuck your toes under, make sure the palms are sealing into the ground. And when you're ready, send your sits bones to the sky and find down dog. And let's just play around with some movement.
And finding some stillness for a few breaths in down dog. Push away from the earth. And then bring your big toes so that they connect at the back of your mat. Float your right leg up towards the sky. Bend into your knee and start to roll the hip open a little bit, keeping your right armpit and shoulder melting towards your mat. And let's make some circles here, 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then maybe just letting that leg open a little more, fire hydrant, a couple more breaths. And then look forward, and as you exhale, bring your right knee forward towards your nose and softly step your foot through and reach your arms up, coming into crescent lunge. Right arms reaching up, tailbone lengthening straight down. And then as you exhale, let's take our hands towards the ground and come into a wide pyramid pose. So those blocks, I'm gonna go ahead and grab mine right now. My left heel has space between it and the mat. So I'm not flat-footed in both sides. Right foot is sealed. Left heel has some space, but spine is long, extending. Kind of melting over the front of my right thigh. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Walk your blocks or your hands a little further forward in front of yourself. And kick your left leg up for a standing splits. And if your hips have started to roll open, see if you can just draw both of the hips to square towards the ground. Lift your left leg up a little higher, point the toe, take another breath. And as you exhale, the left foot's gonna land a little closer this time. Again, a pyramid pose, both feet on the ground. Moving blocks a little closer to you, perhaps. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale to fold. Take one more big breath. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Pick your left foot up and cross it behind your right leg. And then inhale, lengthen yourself up and exhale to fold. So now we're coming a little bit into the left IT band. Your ankles are kind of right in line with one another, and the more we can play around with the weight coming into our toes, we're going to feel that stretch a little more intensely. Inhale, lift yourself up. Those blocks can kind of move off to the side. You're gonna come onto the tips of the toes, pivot yourself around, and walk out to a plank pose. Walk up center on my mat. I was a little off-centered there. Legs are firm, arms are strong, gazes towards the top edge of your mat. If you'd like a flow right now, you can go ahead through chaturanga, up dog or cobra, to downward facing dog, and we'll just take a few more breaths in down dog. If you would like to take a few more flows, this is that opportunity to go right ahead. And And then when you're ready, bringing your toes to join at the back of the mat. Left leg will float up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And then bend into your knee for fire hydrant. Check in with your shoulders, your chest squaring evenly left side to the ground. And then make some circles 5 times. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then see if you can roll open a little more for that fire hydrant. Keep the left side of the chest, the shoulders squared to mat. And then inhale, extend your leg. Exhale, knee travels slowly towards your nose, and softly prepare to land your left foot through and reach all the way up. Crescent lunge. Right leg's extended straight behind you, tail lengthening towards the earth, ribs moving down. And then exhale, let the hands travel towards the ground. And again, maybe those blocks becoming handy for your wide pyramid pose. Extend your spine long, inhale breath, exhale breath, move forward, keeping that space between your mat and your right heel. One more breath here. And then extend your spine long, inhale, move your blocks a little further forward, and then kick your right leg up. Standing splits. Square your hips, lift your leg a little higher, point the toe, breathe. And then slowly as you exhale, the right leg's gonna land behind you for pyramid pose once again, but this time both feet on the ground. All right, extend your spine, inhale breath, exhale breath, forward fold. Exhale, cross your right leg behind your left leg. Let's get nice and tall. Big breath in. And then exhale, take it forward again. See if you can move more weight into your toes. The blocks can be under your hands. Nice stretch into the right IT band. Really big breath. Inhale, we'll lengthen our spines. You can remove the blocks. We'll wind ourselves around, coming onto the balls of our feet. Walk all the way out and prepare for chaturanga as that option. Coming back to downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands and our feet a little closer towards one another, coming to the middle of your mat. Extend on your inhale, big breath in. Exhale to forward fold. Take yourself, pivot all the way forward now, and take your legs wide, toes out, heels in. I guess I'm imagining I'm facing you. You can be facing whatever direction you'd like at this point. Extend the crown of your head towards the sky. Let your tail get heavy. Let the arms open the thighs a little more.
with your sternum and your heart moving forward towards your thumbs. Last couple of breaths here. Let's bring your hands towards the ground. Inhale and lift the hips, the sit bones up. Take your feet a little wider now. And toes are in, heels are out. I'm going to walk my hands all the way over to my right side. And I'm going to find my right ankle with my left hand. See if I can start to spiral. Bring my right hand towards my sacrum. Keep tipping my weight into my toes. And then slowly unwind yourself. We'll travel through center and then over to the left side, where you can bind your right hand to your left ankle and bring your left hand to your sacrum. Trying to tip the weight forward to your toes. Trust yourself. Bring it all the way back through to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands find your waist, and then draw yourself all the way up to the sky on your next inhale breath. Bring your toes to face forward. Reach your arms up above. As you exhale, come into Skandasana. So my hands can be wherever they want. We're going to move here. So I'm going to open my arms, and then I'm going to inhale, bring them up. And then exhale, open them back up. So challenging balance a little bit, not using the hands, but you can always bring them down to the ground for yourself. Maybe move them forward, inhale, exhale, bring them back down to the ground. You're moving with your own breath. Inhale up. Couple more times, right to left before we settle in for a little longer stretch. Coming to the right side, we're going to hang out here. If you want to take a bind for yourself, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to reach my right arm forward. I'm going to try to bring it as close to my right thigh and calf as I can. And then I'm going to turn my palm face down, internal rotation of my arm. Left arm's going to reach up. I'm going to turn that hand in again, internal rotation, reach around my back and see if I can connect those 2 points. And I'm going to take some nice full breath. Bind if you still have yours, letting it go. I'm going to bring myself all the way back up and then exhale all the way to my left. Settle in, get ready to take whatever variation I want with my arms. I'm going to get a little closer to the ground, flip my arms around, prepare for my bind, only if it's there. Oh, I might fall out of my pose even, and that's all right. Happens sometimes. Laugh a little bit to breathe. opening up. I'm gonna bring my hands to the ground for a little support for myself. Inhale my hands to my waist, draw myself all the way back up. Ooh, feels good. I can really feel that I'm a lot looser in my hips now. This is great. Okay, so let's take ourselves, stand towards the top of your mat. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward towards the ground. Lengthen your spine, inhale breath. Exhale breath, plant the palms, step forward, float back to plank. Chaturanga is your option. Up dog or cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in down dog. Bring your big toes to touch towards the back of your mat. Send your right leg up to the sky, big breath in. Exhale, right knee towards the right wrist. Landing it down, extend your left leg back behind you. Feel some balance, evenness between the hips, maybe using a block or a book underneath your right side. And then eventually taking yourself forward towards the ground. Last couple of breaths here. Slowly start to prepare to transition away from the ground. Palms will plant, left toes can tuck under. An optional vinyasa is there for you, should you choose. And then set up for your other side. Left leg floating up, knee traveling forward towards your wrist. Extend your right leg behind you. If this doesn't serve you, you can always come to your back, thread the needle as an option for this pose. And then when you're ready, just let yourself rest. Last couple of breaths. When you're ready, transitioning palms to the ground, pushing away from your mat. Tuck your right toes under, extend your left leg straight back. Flow through your vinyasa should you choose. And then we'll arrive back in down dog. Take a breath before looking through your hands and arriving in seated, coming all the way onto your back. So coming down to rest onto your mat and just taking up some space. We'll let the knees kind of roll right to left, right to left. And then when you're ready, take them all the way over to your right side and just let them hang out. And then with your gaze, just look over your left shoulder. Take a few breaths. And if you want a little more even, pick your right foot up and just bring it across the top of your left thigh, just deepening a little bit more. let that right foot travel off of the knee if it's there, and then slowly move yourself back through center. Go right to left a couple of times. And then eventually just relaxing all the way to your left. Again, just taking a few breaths as you land. Turning your gaze over your right side. And if you'd like, maybe just picking that left foot up, crossing it above the right knee. Letting your left foot slide off of the top of the right thigh, should it be there, and slowly everything moves back through center. Right to left a few times with your knees. And then you can bring them in towards your belly. Give yourself a great big hug and squeeze. I'm going to plant my feet to the ground. Find a bridge pose just like when we began, nothing too intense. I'm just gonna stretch the front of the hips one more time, open the front body, chin drawing in towards yourself. And then slowly roll yourself down towards the ground. Bring your knees in towards yourself. Find your feet, happy baby. If there's anything else that you would wish to close your practice with, something I missed that you really need today, you go right ahead. From here, once you're ready, once you're satisfied, I invite you to find rest in Savasana. Thank you so much, so very much for joining me today on your mat. I hope that it served you. I hope that I will see you again very soon. And until that time, Namaste.